everybody, here we have it. This is the MSI A88XM-E35 motherboard that is compatible with AMD's A series APUs, codenamed Kaveri. This was provided to me courtesy of AMD. I would like to personally thank Roy, James, and Sam from AMD for helping me out to get this to show to you guys. Let's see, here on the front, you can see it says it's FM2 plus ready. It uses the A series APUs and it's the A88X chipset. Now, it has 3 display outputs. It has a PCI Gen 3 slot, a 4-click BIOS, and a fast boot. And it has MSI's military class 4 strength stability. Now, this is for humidity protection, high temperature protection, EMI interference, and ESD protection. Now, here on the back of the board, you can see the motherboard here, which I will be going over. Specifications, this is for the AMD A series APUs, it's the FM2. This is the A88X chipset. It has one PCI 3.0 by 16. It supports AMD dual graphics, so you can use a AMD R7 or R9 series card to use a pseudo crossfire-like configuration. It has HDMI, DVI, and DVI sub. It has 2 DIMMs of DDR3 channel memory, which I believe support up to 64 gigabytes of RAM. Like I said before, 1 PCIe and 1 regular PCI slot. It has 6 gigabit per second SATA ports. Supports RAID 0, 1, 5, and 10. It has 4 USB 3.0 and 8 USB 2.0, a 10, 100, or 1000 megabyte LAN, and an 8-channel HD audio. Now, here on the back you can see it has MSI's military class dark chokes. A traditional choke is 40 amps. MSI's chokes are 60 amps. So they offer better power stability and a longer life. They also have solid caps. Now, their caps that they have in here, they say that you can run it under a lifetime for full load, and the caps on this should last for at least 10 years. But if this motherboard is being used in office work, the caps could last for up to 40 years, which is very, very good. As I said before, it has humidity protection, EMI protection, ESD protection, and high temperature protection. It comes with MSI's OC Genie 4 to overclock your CPU. It has the command center, which is kind of like ASUS's suite, and it has 4K UHD support, which is 4K pixels. So, let's get into the box here. There's also another little surprise in here that I'll share with you in a minute. But let's get into the accessories first. You get your standard I/O backplate, just like you would on any board. And you also get 2 included right angle 6 gigabit per second SATA cables. Now on to the board itself. Oh, actually there is some other stuff in here that I did not know about. Which I should, because I've reviewed enough motherboards. Let's see here. You get a quick installation guide from MSI, which is huge, so I doubt it's that quick. You get the MSI AMD motherboard drivers and utilities. Keep this just in case you ever need to, but please go to their website and download the latest drivers. There are always updates. And you get the MSI user guide, which is a little pamphlet that shows you everything you need to know. So from here, we can get on to the motherboard itself. Now, as I said before, this supports AMD's newest line of graphics, or APUs, which is the little surprise that's actually in here. Another thing AMD sent me, courtesy of AMD from James, Sam, and Roy, is the AMD A10-7850K chip. This chip is inside this socket right here. I will be doing a separate overview on the chip later on. Right now I will show you what the FM2 Plus socket looks like. It kind of reminds me a little bit of AMD socket or Intel sockets in that it has a spot here in the middle. Most AMD chips I'm used to are just a regular circuit board, but this is a little bit different. Let me reinstall the CPU here, or the APU, excuse me. There we go. So we can see here we have AMD's stock mounting brackets here on the sides, just like you would on any AMD board. You can see the military class 4 chokes here and here. This is a MicroATX board. It has a 4-pin CPU power with some more black chokes. Here on the top you can see you have your 2 DIMMs for your RAM. Like I said, I believe this supports up to 64 megabytes of 2133 RAM, so you could put 2 32 gig sticks if you can find them. It has one PCI Gen 3 slot for your graphics card, which if you're going to game, I would highly recommend getting one of AMD's graphics cards. You can run a pseudo crossfire, what they call dual graphics. It pulls the graphics processing off of the chip and crossfires it with the card itself. Here we have the A88X Southbridge chipset. We have 6 SATA connectors here, which are upright on the board. That's why they gave you the right angle connectors. We have your front panel connectors, a USB 3.0 hub, 2 USB 2.0 hubs, your COM header, and your HD audio out. And we have a CMOS jumper cable here, just in case you need to clear your CMOS. It does take a regular 24-pin, I believe it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yes, it's a 24-pin connector. I just had to make sure there. Here on the side, we have room for 1 CPU fan. I plan on trying to see if the Noctua, my Noctua NH U12S will fit on here. I'm not sure if it will, but we will see. So we have 1 CPU fan header, and it looks like we have... Alright, so it seems like this board just has 2 system fan headers, unless I'm missing something, I'm sorry. But there's one right up here, next to the 24-pin power connector. And there's one down here, right next to the choke of the PCI 3 Express slot. Now here on the back of the board, you can see the I/O ports. We have a PS2 keyboard and mouse slot. We have 4 USB 2.0 slots. We have a DVI and a DVI sub or VGA. Now, you would only use these if you use the onboard APU. So, you can use this straight out of the box and you would have onboard graphics if you use the DVI or the VGA. Here we have an HDMI out. We have 2 USB 3.0, a LAN port, and your rear your rear audio out. Look at the back of the board here. You can see it's a nice, it's kind of a brown and black design. It has AMD's stock mounting bracket on the back here. And you can see the chipset in the middle is extended out so you can see everything. You can have a fan blowing just onto that if you wanted to. That is up to you. So, what is this board made for? Well, the MicroATX board with the APU is made for people who want a smaller system, such as a mid-tower or a very, very, very small tower. And even if you don't want a graphics card, you could use the integrated graphics. I believe it uses the R7 series graphics integrated in with the CPU. I will be doing a separate review and overview on the CPU in the future, along with the board itself all benchmarked. But I think that's about it for this motherboard. Colbert of Colbert Tech Repair with the MSI A88XM-E35 MicroATX motherboard. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment down in the comment section down below. Would you use this motherboard in your system? Are you glad that they finally have a MicroATX board for the Kaveri chipset? Just let me know. Also, once again, I would like to give my thanks to the people over at AMD, Sam, Roy, and James who helped me procure these items. Thank you very much. If you have any other questions, you can find me here on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter at Colbert92. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/ColbertTechRepair. See you guys next time.